Miami on the Rocks, Casey Chopz. Make sure you follow us on that Instagram at MIA on the Rocks. Follow us on YouTube, Miami on the Rocks. I'm here with, man, bro, is it... I like to call you like the Dominican Scott Storch. Are you cool with that? Like what?
I don't know. You could call me. Some people call me the Latin Kanye. Some people call me the Latin Storch. Some people call me the Latin DJ Khaled. Some people call me
talk your shit, Moff. Talk your shit.
I can't talk shit. That's what people call me.
Lo más duro del mundo latino.
Tú sabes.
Bro, TumbaGobierno, right?
Yeah.
Just dropped. You've been working on this album for how long, bro?
I started working the album right before Christina dropped. Damn, and that was like about a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So right there I was like, okay, it's time to do an album. All right.
Dope. So I heard you explain, TumbaGobierno like in Spanish. Can you explain to the English audience like what does that mean?
Yeah, TumbaGobierno is basically it's like what it means is overthrow the government.
I like that right now. That sounds good in this climate.
But that's not what it means. TumbaGobierno, the overthrow is like an explosive. Like for example, in Christmas we didn't have money to buy fireworks, so we create our own fireworks. And there's one in a specific that's called TumbaGobierno that you just roll it up and you get it warm, hot, and then you throw it against the wall and it just blows up and you hear that shit everywhere. That's what a TumbaGobierno is. So my album, it came out and it's all over the place.
Yeah, bro, and it's like a bunch of different sounds.
Yeah.
Like you hit everything, bro. You hit you got like the Afrobeat vibes in there. You got like the electronic vibes in there.
Yeah.
You got some deep perreo stuff. You got every type of vibe in there. So, and it feels like a compilation album. Is that how you wanted it to feel?
I didn't want it to feel like a compilation album. I wanted to feel like, I created a color for everybody. I created a vibe for everybody. If you don't like Uchiwala, well, you might like this one, If you don't like Fumando Marihuana because it talks about smoking, I did this one for you. You get what I'm saying? So that's one thing I don't like when sometimes when the industry they close artists, like they put them in a box. Okay, you're a rap artist. Nah, man. You're an artist. If you're an artist, you're gonna do every kind of music. If one day someone wants to do a Hindi song from India, right? Let's go.
Right.
And
you just showcased your versatility as a producer, right? Because no producer could go all.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that.
So, bro, talk about Uchiwala, bro. You have Nicky Jam on there. You have Akon there. You're combining both worlds. Explain the birth of that record, how that came about.
I mean, the birth of the record. Big shout out to Akon and Nicky Jam. The birth of that record, I think it reflects on the relationship that you have with the artist. Like with Nicky Jam, I have an incredible relationship with him and Akon as well. So the birth of that record is my only Afro beat but like Afro because a lot of people are doing the Afro that sounds like dancehall.
Exactly.
So this record, this Uchiwala is like very cultural driven as far as Africa is concerned, as far as like the sound and everything. So I called Akon. I was like, listen, Akon, he's African, so I was like, I need you on my album, but I only have one Afro beat and it has to be you. Like, you're the perfect person to say, because you're to sing it, because you're African. I picked him up he came from Atlanta. I picked him up at the airport. We went straight to the studio. I played him the beat in the car. Big shout out to DJ Buddha and AC, which collaborated with me on the instrumental as well. And as soon as he heard it, he was like, "This is a hit. This is gonna be your biggest hit record." And it turned out to be my biggest hit record. Christina and Uchiwala are two different monsters.
Right.
Like Christina is like talking about smoking and all that stuff,
right.
But then Uchiwala is like a positive record for the kids,
right? Like a global family vibe,
exactly.
Bro. Like,
so they're huge. Those two records are just huge. So he got in the studio with me. He recorded his part. We started vibing out, and then Yeah,
Does he on that record? Did you come with like a hook to him?
No,
or
with nothing.
With him, and you just tell him to vibe.
Exactly. And he recorded and everything. First, it was just me and him, you know, on the record. I was actually singing on the record. And then like 6 months after, I had the record right there. Boom.
Were you thinking about who else to put on it?
No, I was not thinking. So when I reached out to Nikki, because I had another idea that was not Uchiwala, it was like some commercial shit for Nikki that I thought that it was, you know, he fit perfect. So, you know, everybody in the industry, they come to me if they want something, a new sound, and if they want a trend set, you know, and be different, they come to me. So Nikki told me, he was like, yo, Maff, I like that idea, but I want something different. Boop. And that's when the light bulb came up. I was like, okay, you want the boom. I sent him Uchiwala. Damn. And he jumped on it the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, the next day we got in the studio and we killed it. So you know what the funny thing is, that the record, my bad.
You're good.
The record, it was in full English.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, I'm vibing with the song, and I'm not thinking I'm doing a Latin album.
Right.
So the song is full English, and I'm like, I'm vibing. Then the label calls me, and they're like,
wait, Nikki records his parts in English?
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay, that's dope.
So I have an English version on you know, in the stash. So
oh shit, that's a dope remix right there. You got in the tuck.
So the label was like, but Maffio, you sure you want to put it out in English? I'm like, what? That's true. It's all in English. And I just figured that out. I'm like, man. So I called Nikki. I'm like, Nikki, we got to do, at least we got to do, you know, your verses in Spanish. And we got in, we did the verses in Spanish, and we did it. Wow. And it became the single. It was an incredible like experience. And
let's talk about the video now, bro.
The
video is a movie. Where did you record it at?
Here in Miami.
Okay.
It was here in Miami, and it was by there's a new director. She's so dope. Her name is Roxanne, La Señora Directora, and she's under Jesse Terrero.
Female director.
Yeah, female director. And I was like, when Jesse Terrero, he was like, he showed me the treatment. I was like, I love it. Let's go. And hey, man, we gotta keep giving, you know, those opportunities to women now, you know?
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So it's been driven by, this industry's been driven by men for so long, and I was like, you know what? I have no problem. Let's go. Let's give them that look and that love.
What's something that she brought to the table that you don't think a man could have brought to the table?
She brought it like, you know, she brought it just like a man.
Was there a certain idea maybe she had, like, oh shit?
No, because the idea, I gave Jesse the idea, this is what I want, blah blah blah. Dance is very Afro driven, da da da. But she brought to the table what any other, you know, director would, you know, I would demand for the director to bring to the table. But she killed it. She killed it, and I'm super happy with the outcome.
Dope, man. So you have so many different records on there. My favorite, to be honest with you, and I told you already, is Fumando Marijuana. But it doesn't. It's not even the lyrical concept. It's the music behind it.
Yeah.
I've never heard Latin on that type of. You mixed so many sounds.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to put Amanasi on that's like crazy to me. Like, can you speak on that record? Just because that's my favorite. Like,
that's dope.
And
Thank
Amanasi is in my top 3 right now of who I see coming up. And what people have told me is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he's the one out of DR right now that has the most potential to cross over mainstream.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you agree with that?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Right now, he's one of the ones. He's the one. Also, I got to talk to you about Vaquero as well. That I just produced his album, and Vaquero is like, it's like Amenazi and Vaquero are
the next ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Fumando Marijuana, I was thinking, how, because I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed or anything. Not because I've tried it a couple times. It gets me paranoid.
Right. It's not your thing.
So it's just not my thing. But I was like, how because you watch movies, right? You watch movies and you see all these characters, and they're probably killers, but that doesn't mean that in real life they're killers.
Right.
They're just acting.
Right.
I was like, you know what? How can I do a song about smoking weed, but I don't smoke weed? So I got in the character. I got into the character, and I did the song. And also, how do I make a song that talks about weed, but is so digestible to the ear that you're just like, right? And you probably don't smoke, but you're gonna sing along to it,
right?
And that's how I did it. So I did it singing.
I was gonna say, I would also say, and you tell me if you agree, I would say that's your best on the album. That's your best vocal performance.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
You killed the vocals on that.
100,000,000%. Wow.
Right?
Only me and my wife know that. Like, yeah.
I'm here. I'm vibing like, damn, this is Maffio, like hitting the bridge.
Yeah,
te perdí. Yeah, bro.
En un abismo negro yo caí.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so thank you, bro. And yeah, that's one of my best vocal performances in my life.
I think I don't want to throw an idea out there, but I think that might sound dope, like acoustic, like on a piano or something.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it.
Let's move on to another record. You had the channel, your street vibe, pa la calle. You have Tali Goya on
Tali Goya. That's my street shit.
Lo Tigre, like yo,
because I could, like people see me happy, family,
right?
In the studio, I'm all of that. Mm-hmm. I come from the streets. Mm-hmm. I'm all of that. Mm-hmm. Just because you see me happy on Instagram doesn't mean I can't slap the shit out of you.
In fact, talk your shit, Mom.
So like I don't look for problems, and I'm out the hood already.
Right.
So I live great, but I'm a man as well. So so I could be all that. So that's my street record. Ayer le gustan los Tiger. Big shout out to Tali Goya. New York, Wash Heights, you already know. And every girl they want their tiger.
My third favorite is Loca con ella.
Victoria. Veronica Vega, Itaúi, and Kimani Marley is on the record with me, and that's a club banger.
That's like, would you consider that like dembo?
Nah, right? Nah, it's not. It's a mixture of like Afro and a little bit of them both.
A lot of your songs, you can't put a genre on them because you're mixing so many different elements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it feels good. I make them feel so good that you don't know what's hitting you, but it feels
you're like
good.
trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like as you're listening to it.
Exactly.
And sometimes it takes a couple listens to really be able to digest everything.
Yeah,
which is,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got Maff here. What other like videos? Do you have any other visuals?
I'm probably gonna be shooting the Los Tiger.
So video. That's gonna be the next.
Probably. Okay. I got a couple. I mean, I love like I told my big shout out to my label Sony. I love my whole team. I love them to death because there's been a stigma of the artists. The artists think that the label is the enemy. They're not the enemy. You just got to be on top of your shit.
They're part of the team, right?
You got to give them the tools, because the thing about a lot of people is that about a lot of artists, they sign and they sit down to see what the label's gonna do for them. That's not how it works. Once you sign, it's time to work. It's time to go. You got to give them the tools so they can work with.
Maff, I mean, you're signed to a major, so you're in that side of the game. But a lot of people would champion being independent right now.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? Like, I mean, is getting signed the goal in 2020?
Well, in 2020 is working for me.
Right. It works. You know what I mean?
And as long as the business is correct, as long as you sign, you have a partnership with your label, and you guys are working in conjunction. It is all gravy. It's all gravy. As long as your deal is structured correctly, then you're good. But then you got niggas that sign deals and they don't know what the hell they sign. You get what I'm saying? So once they give you that upfront money, the $1 million, they spend all that shit. But
you gotta recoup it. Like
you gotta recoup it, and now you're stuck until you recoup. Now you get bitter. You get bitter because it's your own fault. That money that was given to you should have invested in your career.
Exactly, to the project. Like,
or don't get money up front.
Yeah, damn, bro. So, okay, and I want to talk about that. That reminded me of a post that you posted yesterday.
Yeah.
It was in Spanish, but to summarize it, you basically were talking about, people feel like they have to put on a front for social media.
Yeah.
They have to exaggerate. Can you kind of, break down your thought process in that, because it's very true what you were saying.
Yeah, it's sad what's happening. So I feel like some artists they have the need and the feel that they have to impress everybody they see. Okay, you have a movie on Instagram, and you let people see and believe whatever you show them.
Right, you're portraying like something, like a character.
But then when you go home, and you're away from all this lie, and
the rented cars, the jewelry that you don't own.
Exactly. Then when you go home, I think it should be the worst feeling in the world that you're like sleeping in your bed and you're like, fuck, all this shit is a lie. Fuck. All right, cool. Let me wake up. Let me keep on with that's stressful already.
Right.
So I think being genuine and being real, like, because everybody says that they real, but they ain't real. Mm-hmm. Being real to yourself,
right.
Respect yourself, because once you find out that this illusion that happens on Instagram is not true, it's just not true. That's why you see people on TMZ, someone just suicide. But and then you would say, you would be like, man, but he had everything. He was good.
He was in Ferraris.
He was in Ferrari. You got all the jewelry, all the girls. Oh my! But he's suicide. Man, that's odd. It's not odd. It's just like, you're trying to put a movie that's not true. And I think that the best thing is to be genuine and be real, and the only people that you need to impress is your kids by being a better human being. Because once you are a better human being and you're a student, you learn from life, you obtain wisdom. Mm-hmm. And once you obtain wisdom, there's no stopping you. Once you get that wisdom, ain't no stopping you. You like the feeling that when you know the power, when you go into a room and you know the power that you have, but you still keep it cool.
You let your work speak.
Exactly.
You let the music speak. And I think you embody that because you are a family man, and you lead with that. You don't lead with jewelry. You don't lead with cars. You don't lead with the rapper shit the industry shit that everyone tries to lead with. Yeah. You lead with, you're in your own lane. You know what I mean? Did you ever feel pressured into like, damn, everyone's doing this. I feel like I'm on an island over here, like being, the family guy with my music. No. Did that ever like pressure you?
Not at all. I've had people, Maffio, you should buy this Rolex instead of that because you're in this industry. I'm like, no, I don't have to buy shit. I got my Apple Watch that tells me the time and tells me how my heart is doing when I'm running. What the fuck am I doing with a Rolex with a bunch of AP with a bunch of diamonds? What? Right. I don't have that. I don't have that kind of desire. I like my chancletas. I like being simple,
being real, being relatable.
It's not, and I don't want like. I'm just me. Like, if you relate to me, then hey, amen.
You're not putting effort into.
I'm not putting effort. Like, I'm chilling, bro. I just came from the studio. I didn't go to my house to get changed and put my jewelry on just to have this conversation with you. Yeah, I'm chilling. Yo, I don't even have socks on today. So I'm chilling.
Yo, we're here with Maffio, man. Where do you see yourself? What's the next step for you, Maffio? You just dropped this album. You're heavy on the promo game for the album. Are you back in the studio making music?
Oh yeah, I'm already working on my 2021 album already.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay. If you think TumbaGobierno was crazy, oh my God, wait till you hear.
Ooh. What are some of the goals, man? Who are some of the artists you're reaching out to, trying to get in the studio with that you haven't yet?
No, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. I'm just going with the flow. Whatever goes. I don't force things. I don't be calling artists like that. Yo, it's like if it happens, it happens, and I go with the flow. I'm not with that
Dope.
lamboneria shit.
Yeah, facts. You're not thirsty with it.
Nah.
And you've built a relationship with one of the biggest legends in the music industry, Akon.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that relationship, how that started? Because you guys seem to really be genuine friends. He seems to gravitate toward you. You gravitate toward him. How did that relationship birth? That
relationship, so like 3 years ago, his brother Omar, big shout out to
Omar, I know.
I was in the studio working with Alexis Fido, I think it was, and Omar hits me up. He was like, "Yo, Khan is in town and he wants to meet you." I'm like, "What? Like, what do you mean he wants to meet me?" "Yeah, he wants to meet you, but does he know who I am?" He was like, "Of course." So I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm done with whatever I got to do." We went to the Hit Factory. When I get there, I was like, I meet him, a bunch of people, so I'm like a little intimidated because, they were just waiting for me. Like, and I'm like, "Khan, how did you know about me?" And he was like, "I know you from 5 years ago when you used to produce all the records for Omega, for Fuego." And I'm like, "Whoa."
He was doing his research.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." And he was like, "What you got for me?" I'm like, "All right, I got my computer, boom, open it up, the auxiliary on." And the first beat that I played him, it was Te Quiero Amar featuring Pitbull.
Wow.
That was the first beat. He was like, "That's it." He only heard 5 seconds of it. And he was like, "That's it." He went in the booth and started recording his melodies. And he was like, "We're starting my Latin album today."
Damn. That's crazy.
And that's how it happened. So we started building as far as the chemistry and the music is there. But me and Khan, we have the same goals, which is the bigger you get, this is the hustle right now. The bigger you get, the more you help. The more successful you get, the more you help. How do you help? By education, by helping society on how to be people, how to be bigger human beings than because the music is the bait.
You measure your success by how many people you bless.
Exactly. So the music is the bait. Okay, you got them. You got you're on the limelight right now. But what are you doing with that? What's your purpose in life? And the purpose in life is to help. Me and him, we're gonna build the first sustainable school in the Caribbean, and it's gonna be totally for free for the kids in the hood. So like that, when they get out of school at 1 or 2, they go to the art school, which is gonna be our school. And they can stay there like till 7 o'clock at night, just creating and
staying
working
out of the streets,
staying out of the streets, and because once you go home at 1 p.m., you have nothing to do. So what do you think those kids are gonna be thinking about? And they need money. They need all kinds of things. They're gonna start robbing people. So I lived it, and I was like, I felt that there was something wrong. What's wrong with those kids? No, it's not them. It's just how the environment is. So me and Akon, we're going to start the first school there, and we're going to keep on branching out to other countries, probably Jamaica, Haiti, and stuff like that. So
dope.
But it's going to start in Dominican Republic, in my hood, Las Cañitas.
Fire, bro. I said this to my friend, and you tell me what you think about this. It seems like I see so much potential in Miami right now.
Yeah.
Because I always say LA is the capital of American music, right? Everyone goes to LA to work. But I say Miami is the LA for Latin music right now. It seems like everyone's moving here. All the Latin artists are getting their albums done here.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay.
I kept on telling everybody in the industry, "Yo, you gotta come," because I've been living here since 2012. So I already know I peeped game already.
Yeah.
I peeped game, and you're 2 hours away from DR. You're 2.5 hours away, from Puerto Rico. You're 2 hours, almost 3 hours away from Colombia. You're 2 hours away from Venezuela. You're an hour and a half away from Central America. You're what, 2 hours away from Mexico. So what does that tell you? Like geographically, it tells you something.
Right.
It tells you something. So I already beat the game already.
Yeah. Are you doing any promo for the album? I know it's crazy with COVID times right now. Are you traveling?
You know what's funny? Your family. You got to consider yourself family because I'm not doing any interviews with anybody.
Wow.
With nobody.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
Come on, you crazy.
Thank you, bro.
It's family.
Thank you, man. And
with nobody. Like I'm actually putting like an hour-long conversation that I had with El Chombo from Panama. Mm-hmm. You know El Chombo?
I've heard of him.
So he's like an encyclopedia for the Latin music. And him, I feel that we have educational conversations about music. So me and him spoke about the album, and that's coming out on my channel first week of January. And that's like, if anybody from the media or whatever, they want to know about the album, you know, they could come here with Casey Chopz or to my channel.
Thank you, my brother.
With El Chombo. And we're talking about like dissecting from instruments, from snares, from kicks, from hi-hats, and that's that whole conversation with El Chombo.
Dope. So let's go into this. How do you feel about the climate of Latin music right now? To me, it seems like, you know, everything is calm. Everything is chill. It's almost like you know, like R&B reggaeton to me. It's very, you know what I mean? Like, where do you see the space at? Where do you want it to go? What do you want to change?
Me personally, I like it. I like it, but me, I'm a little crazier. You know, I like having. I can't listen.
Be sleepy all the time.
Time. I got to feel that I'm alive, and that's why my rhythms are so like alive and they're happy, and I like. That's how I like to feel, you know, because my music is the soundtrack of my life. So that's how I want to feel. I really don't see myself doing too slow, you know, songs and dark.
Right.
You know, stuff. I don't like that. I don't like to feel like that. I already came from a dark place, you know, and in the Dominican Republic, so I chose not to live like that.
Right. Do you have a mambo? You don't have a mambo on the album, right?
Oh, no, not on the album. But like, I have something similar that is considered like mambo in DR. Is Fiesta de Palo. ¿Qué es lo que ella quiere? Una fiesta de palo.
Okay.
So, you know, that record has a similar. But now, on my next album, I'm going to have more mambo because now it's about to get
fire. And that reminded me, talk about that Venezuela Libre like interlude that you did with just crazy percussion, bro.
Right?
How did you come up with that idea just to make it an interlude? I was like, I wish it was longer. Like,
yeah. So the interlude is called Venezuela Libre. Is basically me paying back the love that Venezuela have given me. And
you have it tatted on you, by the way.
Yeah,
right?
I do. And Venezuela was the first country that actually supported me.
In
2011, when I was doing my mambo and all that stuff, I went to Venezuela and I lived there for 4 or 5 months, and those people, they loved me. They loved me. They like I was Venezuelan, and they've always show me so much support with my songs. My songs were number one over there, like number one. And right now, what's happening with Venezuela is so sad for such a beautiful country and a country that has so much culture. I was like, it's the only way that I could pay the love back, and people could actually reflect on what's happening in Venezuela, which is very, very, very sad. What's happening? There's kids dying from no medicine, no food, and that's my way to raise, you know, my voice and say something about it. And a lot of people are scared. I'm not scared.
Yeah. I mean, how like this country, you know, the United States is going through so many problems, and obviously when you go to places like Venezuela and you know DR and you know even you know Colombia, like you see like a different type of poverty.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you tell the people here? Like, sometimes I wish that everyone here could just visit a place like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I was the president, I would like offer people like tax breaks to travel there.
Yeah.
Just so they could see it. You know what I mean?
Just so they could see it. When things happen here in the U.S., mind you, my wife is white.
Right.
She's white as you.
Right.
So, like, the U.S. has first world problems. If we ran out of milk, it's chaos.
Toilet paper. We run out of toilet paper.
Toilet paper, really? Like, over there in DI, we wipe ourselves with leaves and shit. So like, you know, a lot of things that happen here are so small. It's not that I'm emotional. I don't have emotions. I do have emotions and empathy to certain things, to situations that really need that empathy. But, you know, there's a lot of things happening here in the U.S. that is small. It's little, you know, for what's happening in DR, and for what's happening in Honduras and Venezuela, for what's happening in all those countries. So I don't, you know, I'm cool. I'm chilling here.
Yeah.
You know, what I wish is, you know, for this country to not be so spoiled with the people. Right. You know, like help people how to work. Right. People don't want to work. People want a check from the government. You know, people want to do wealth. There's no welfare in DR. There's no Medicare. Like in the hood where I was born, there's no insurance. Right. Like if you got cut, we're gonna have to figure it out. Right. Obviously, you know, you don't. It's a great country to live in, to have, you know, all those things. You know, but also, you know, you have to figure it out and toughen up. Right. Because once they leave you in one of those countries by yourself, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, you're dumb.
Figure it out.
Let me grab my phone and see if I get an app. No, bitch, there's no fucking apps over there. Yeah. You know, you gotta figure it out.
Damn. We got Maffio here. Maff, who are some of the new guys? Like, you know, we talked about Amanasi, who you know, you have the professional ear. Who do you see potential in? You know, you mentioned that other artist. Vaquero right now, his album is gonna come out in, I think, second quarter of the year of 2021, and it's called Black Caviar. And I have Gente de Zona. We have Gente de Zona in there. We have Farruko in there. We have Chucky Down in it. We have Giancarlos Canela. We have a couple, you know, hit records, so it's gonna come out really dope. It's so crazy how like you're able to orchestrate, like you just have so many different cultures and country. You have, you know, Cuban artists mixing with Puerto Rican, then you have Colombians, and you mix everybody together.
Yeah,
right?
That's what it's all about, unity, bro. And that's what I represent. You know, I want to make sure that I unite all of us as Latinos, and because we are a strong force, we're a huge mass, and one of my main things is that I don't like to forget about my culture and where I came from, my roots. So I make sure that all those rhythms, all those beats that you hear, you know, you know, when you press play, you're like, that's Latin. You know, it's not. I don't like to be a reflection of what's happening here in the U.S. I don't. You know, I like to be me. You know, Latino, and always root for, you know, my roots. Right.
You know, I don't think I formally got to, you know, say congratulations to your baby girl, Presley, right?
Thank you.
And, you know, you showcase your family, which is so dope to me. And I've, you know, praised you before about you just owning like fatherhood, you know what I mean? Like you wear it well, you know what I mean? Like you talk about, first of all, how is Presley? I see Marley.
She's always Presley. She's always smiling. She's always smiling. Everything is a smile for her. You stand right in front of her and she smiles. So, it's fatherhood, and Marley. She's a mini me. She's tough. She's like, and she needs an explanation, a very, very explained explanation for something that she asks for. Like,
give me an example.
Like, Papi, so who are you? Who were you with in the studio today? I'm like, I was with Gente de Zona and Akon. Were they good? And I'm like, yeah, were they good? Can I hear the song, please? I'm like, here's the song. What do you think of it? I don't know. I don't like this part right here. Why did he say that, this melody here? I'm like, because, and I need to explain everything. Everything like a grown up. She's 7 years old, and I have to explain everything to her in a certain way. And when I make a deal with her, like, for example, she's very limited with the iPad and gadgets and stuff like that. She only has 2 hours.
That's okay. That's dope. Cause you saw I don't want to go off on a tangent. I want to hold that thought.
No,
but
go
like
ahead.
you saw Social Dilemma.
Yeah, I saw
Right?
it. I saw it.
So how do you regulate the screen time? You said 2 hours.
So before social dilemma, I always thought that it's gonna come one of these days that you're gonna wake up and I'm not gonna have no Instagram. I'm already getting tired of the Instagram. I don't like, it seems like I like to interact with the people and everything, but it's just like another job to have, for the likes. For likes and views.
Superficial shit. Like
so one of these days you'll probably wake up and what happened to Maffio on Instagram? I'm out.
Did he block me? What the
No. And so she has only 2 hours. She only has 2 hours of the iPad and that's it. The rest of the things she has to figure it out. She has to start getting creative. If she has an idea that she wants to put in place, we help her, and that's about it. On the weekends she has 3 hours, and she's so smart. Oh my god, she uses one. She doesn't use the 3 hours or throughout the she only uses 1 hour throughout the day, 2 hours later on. The other day she was like, Papi, look, I only used 2 hours today. You think this hour we can roll it over for Sunday? I'm like, nope. You got to use your 3 hours a day.
Damn, you don't get the sprint rollover minutes? Like, what you mean?
Nah. So like, you got to use your 3 hours and use it smartly. You know?
And obviously she's grown up amongst music. Do you see music in her? Do you feel like she's gonna have maybe play an instrument? Do you feel
she sings?
Okay, that's her thing.
She sings, and when she does vibratos, I'm like, but we don't push her to do anything. Like, she sees it. If she wants to one day be like, Papi, I want to record, I'm like, let's go. That's my dream.
You're waiting for that day.
I'm waiting for that day, but we don't push her. We don't be like, come on, let's get in this. She loves to be in the studio.
Got you.
She loves to be in the studio. The other day she was crying because we had to leave early from the studio, so she was crying.
Wow.
But I think fatherhood is an amazing. I think it's the ultimate goal of a human, like a person, like a human being.
This generation lost sight of that, I think.
Yeah. Like we pray on the table as well. Every time we have dinner together, we pray. We make sure that there's no TVs, no phones on the table. Nothing.
Wow.
That I want to make sure that those values are very well kept and protected.
Right. I got Maffio here. Maff, tell everybody where they could follow you on your social media. Plug everything.
They can follow me on Instagram.
Maffio.
But you might not find me there one of these days. You can follow me on Instagram, Maffio. Right now, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe yourself so you can check out everything you do, that I do. On Facebook, I don't use Facebook.
Okay, dope. How
Twitter, I tweet like 5 times a year. I let that if you go to my Spotify or my Apple Music, then that's where you're gonna see my real success and the music. My whole thing, I make music to disappear, not to be seen. I make music for people, so they can. My biggest accomplishment was when people are dancing and singing to my music. That's it.
Right.
That's all. That's all.
What do your daughter do with the other hours in the day?
Oh, she has to figure it out. She has FaceTimes with her friend. They play dolls. FaceTime, because what I mean about the iPad is like games and stuff, and Fortnite. She doesn't, only 2 hours. Boom. Right. That's it. The other. She has another hour to have a FaceTime with her friends. A FaceTime where they play since the COVID, and they can't be, in their houses and stuff.
You ever thought about making music for kids? That Baby Shark. If I hear that song one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind, Moff. I heard it makes bro. I heard it makes like $100 million a month or some wild number a month because kids leave it on and it repeats without no one even paying attention. Bro, there's a market for that, Moff.
I'm probably, I don't know. I'll probably do it. I don't know. I would love to.
Watch, that shit'll be your biggest song of all time, bro.
I believe you. I believe you. But I heard that song. It broke records. It's like the most YouTube views on.
I think it's got like 1 trillion views. It's got like some crazy.
Let me check it out.
Bro.
Wait, hold on.
And they got remixes on. They got remixes and shit. Like,
let me see. Baby Shark. Baby Shark. Baby Shark.
Yo, to make a mambo of that, bro. You shut the game down, bro.
Look at that shit. That shit has 7.2 billion.
Bro. And there's a gazillion versions of that shit, bro. Like, man, the Money song, I love that on your album too. That had like a crazy like electro vibe to it. Like,
I want to shoot the video like in roller skates.
Oh shit!
Like with disco ball and a lot of colors, everybody with an afro. I want to do that. Like, let's see how it's gonna come out.
Do you see yourself trying to get into the English market at all more? Like, because you've done records, with
I don't like. I want to be the. So you see how Khaled does records, and they're all English. I want to be that person to be, hey, Katy Perry, here's this song with Farruko, but not a remix, not like how people be doing like
Despacito on Justin Bieber on Despacito.
Yeah,
type shit.
It's like okay, this is gonna be the single. This is gonna be the single.
How do you feel about American artists all of a sudden jumping onto the Latin wave because it's popular now? Do you some people have remorse to it, some people embrace it. How do you feel about it?
They gotta go to the right producer.
Okay.
If you don't want to sound mediocre and not genuine, you
a culture vulture, because it's very important that when you go
forced.
Exactly, that's when people will say you're using the culture when it doesn't sound authentic.
Exactly.
Right.
So there's songs that they don't pronounce the lyrics correctly. You got to hear Akon singing in Spanish. Oh my God! So he sounds Dominican.
That's crazy. So you're cool with American artists doing the Spanish if they take the time to do it correctly,
exactly,
and speak the words right and learn it right,
and they reach out to the right people.
Okay.
But then the producers or the songwriters, they're like, oh my God, is so and so? Yes, you sound good. Yeah,
put it out. The labels,
put it out.
They don't.
No, I don't make music like that. If it doesn't, it has to sound genuine and authentic. Mm-hmm. If it's gonna come out,
okay.
So I'm gonna make sure that the artist sounds like Latin,
right?
Like, people be asking Akon now, like, does Akon speak Spanish? But it's because how authentic he sounds. Just go check out El Negrito, Akon, his Latin album. We debuted at #1 in sales.
So you think you could take a super white, like a Katy Perry?
Oh yeah.
And if Katy Perry comes in the studio, you could like make a mambo song.
Oh yeah. I'll make her sound Dominican.
Damn.
I'll make her sound Dominican, and I'll have Akon write the melodies.
Damn. There it is. Katy Perry, if you're listening, come take that.
Katy Perry, and anybody.
Take that flight.
Beyonce.
Miley Cyrus.
I would love to work with Miley Cyrus.
Her voice is crazy.
And Billie Eilish. One of my goals is to have Billie Eilish and Post Malone on a record.
That's crazy. How do you feel about the weirdo? I feel like
it's
cool to be a weirdo now, like with the style and the, you know what I mean? Like I'm surprised you haven't dyed your hair yet, Maff.
It's just not my thing. Everybody,
Got you.
Like I don't want to dye my hair and then my hair will get messed up with time, Like I don't want to tat my face, and then when I'm 70 years old, like everything is just be dripping. You look like you fucking Picasso painting.
I tell people it's important to know the trends that are not for you. The ones that you gotta like, oh, this isn't for me. Like, everyone might be doing one thing, dyeing their hair green, but it's important to know, like, this for me is not for me.
Because I know I'm gonna get old. I'm gonna turn 50.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn 60. I'm gonna be a grandfather with, that's what I look at. How do I want my grandchildren to see me when I see with all these tattoos in the face? Yeah. I'm like, what is that? Oh yeah, it was a trend. Yeah. What do I do now? What am I gonna do now?
Make sure you go stream that album, TumbaGobierno. Go get it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming through, bro.
My brother,
I appreciate you
crazy. My
taking the
man.
time.
You're
You know. Yeah, there it is, baby. Miami on the rocks.
Boom.
Bomb.